Hi, welcome to another wine and rum video, except this time it's just the wine because I'm gonna talk about Austria, and specifically I'm gonna be talking about 10 fun, or I guess to some people perhaps weird New Year's facts about things we do for New Year's in Austria. So 10 facts to count down into the new year, although I don't think I'll be able to do them in 10 seconds, so maybe watch it before the countdown to midnight. So I noticed living abroad that in some countries New Year's isn't necessarily as big of a deal. Like when we first moved to Dublin, actually for our first New Year's we didn't really know anyone yet, so we weren't at any party or anything, we just celebrated at home. So when we're seeing it's getting close to midnight, we're like, okay, let's turn on the radio, have a countdown or something. And we actually missed midnight because there was no countdown. They just played a song through the countdown in midnight. So that confused us actually quite a bit. But then when we went outside to see fireworks, which we couldn't see because there was clouds, there was actually other people there, because apparently it's an old tradition that after midnight you just go around the street, wish everyone a happy new year, which is actually a really lovely tradition. So we participated in that at least, so yay. But in Austria, there, as usual, there is a lot more specific traditions and things we do and stuff like that. So let's get started. So fun fact number 10 is that Austrians actually call New Year's Eve Silvester. So nothing to do with Sylvester Stallone or anything, it's just that usually in the Austrian calendar each day is assigned to a patron saint, like in other Catholic countries, and the 31st of December just happens to be that of Sylvester. So Sylvester is the patron saint of apparently barn animals, so animals that you basically have on your farm. And just for a good New Year, so if the animals are safe, your survival as a farmer is safe. So basically it goes back to that. It doesn't really matter to people today, we just call it Sylvester because it's shorter than New Year's Eve. Fun fact number 2, which might gross out people a bit, but a traditional food on Christmas Eve is, New Year's Eve. Too much Christmas stuff over here. New Year's Eve is Sauschädel, which is literally a pig's head, and that is exactly what it is. So we're not going to show you any pictures of that because I know it's going to gross out some people. Fun fact number 3, and that's probably one of the most practiced traditions, is to give your family and friends lucky charms. So during the last days of December, and especially also on the 31st, you'll see a lot of little pop-up stalls in tube stations and everywhere selling lucky charms. So that would usually be little chocolates or figurines or something you can maybe put in your wallet. That look like pigs, 4-leaf clovers, horseshoes. What other lucky symbols are there? Chimney sweeps. I don't know why they're supposed to be lucky, because historically I guess that was a bad profession to work in, but chimney sweeps and Fliegenpilze. I have no idea how to pronounce it in English. I'll put it there. Also don't know why that is a lucky symbol, because eating them could kill you, but there you are. Maybe it's supposed to ward off your enemies, I don't know. It's just a lucky symbol, so if Austria gives you like a chocolate that's put in a wrapper to look like a Fliegenpilz, they're not trying to kill you, it's just to wish you good luck and a happy new year. Fun fact number 7 is the New Year's concert by the Viennese Philharmonics. Vienna Philharmonics? What are they called in English? Vienna Philharmonics? So every year they do, on January 1st, they do this huge concert that's usually sold out years in advance by rich people from all over the world, and I think in the US, like Julia Andrews comments it at the TV performance that they show in the US. So usually Austrians will be like, oh yeah, this year I'm gonna be able to be up at like 10 or 11 when it starts and watch it. It's like every year people are like, oh whoops, I caught the like last 2 songs or so, but they know that happens, so they show a repeat like during the following week in the evening, so everyone can watch it actually. Fun fact number 6, Austrians love tradition so much they'll literally show some of the same shows on New Year's Eve every year. So one of those is Mundel, ein echter Wiener geht nicht unter, which is like a series about a Viennese working class family that was shot in the 70s, and there's this one particular New Year's episode that they show every year until today. And another one It's actually a funny one because I always thought that was an international thing because it's in English, but no one seems to know outside of the German-speaking countries. So Dinner for One is this sort of sketch comedy, like just about 20 minutes, that was originally written to be shown as a play on stage. And they filmed it once, and people started showing it on German-speaking TV, and people loved it so much that until today, in all the German-speaking countries, it's just shown on New Year's Eve in the English version with German subtitles, and people just go around making jokes about the same proceedings as every year joke, that like, because that's a repeating line in the thing. So that's a fun fact. Austria's obsessed with a random British play that people in Britain don't even know. Fun fact number 5. So although it can get really cold, like -degrees cold during December, especially New Year's Eve, people still go outside a lot. There's different traditions from going for walks, like sort of Sylvester paths walks, or just going to the city. There's a Sylvester Path in Vienna, which is basically just a huge celebration where people just party for hours outside in spite of the cold temperatures and wait for midnight. Fun fact number 4. So this links back to the other Christmas video that I did about pagan myths and traditions in Austria. How I mentioned that there's this certain Rauhnächte, which are special magical nights in Austria that happen between December 21st and January 6th. So Sylvester is one of them, and what it is known for is that, as is easily understandable, people want to know about what's going to happen next year. So one way to determine that is to do Bleigießen, which is apparently so specifically German I literally couldn't find a translation for that in the dictionary. But basically what it is that you get this special kit, and it has a spoon and a piece of lead, and you put the lead on the spoon and then hold it over a fire, and when it's melted you then throw it into a bucket of cold water, a bowl of cold water, and whatever symbol it looks like, so the kid comes with a guide, you then go like, okay, this looks like, I don't know, a cat, and then you look in the guide what the cat means will happen for you next year. So there might be an obvious one, like, I don't know, you get a pig and it means you'll get money, or I don't know. It's just, it sounds a bit silly perhaps, but it's a fun thing to do, and it keeps you occupied because you have to wait a long time until midnight. So New Year's fun fact number 3 is, you might be confused by when Austrians try to wish you a happy Christmas and a happy New Year, because what we say literally in German is Merry Christmas and a good slide. So to wish people a happy New Year, we don't actually, like, some people attach that to it, but what we wish first is a good transition into the new year, which what we literally say in German is have a good slide in the new year, and people try to just like have a good slide. It's like, see you next year, have a good slide. So don't be confused. They're not making random threats if an Austrian tells you that. They're just trying to wish you a good transition into the new year. And another thing that's perhaps a bit weird that we say is Prosit Neujahr on, well, like at midnight when we toast with our wine glasses or champagne glasses or whatever alcohol and non-alcoholic beverage of your choice. And that apparently, I didn't know this, but I researched this. So this goes back to when students at universities would speak Latin, and some students just as a joke would start using Prosit as a toast, like instead of cheers or something like that. And it's just the form of a Latin word meaning, I wrote this down, may it be good. So I don't know if it's may the new year be good, may the alcohol be good, just general, may it be good, but in Latin, so it sounds more sophisticated. Fun fact number 2, the first thing you're gonna hear in Austria in the new year is the bell in St. Stephen's Cathedral ringing. So this bell, the Bummerin as it's called, is it's a special bell that is only rung on very important occasions, and it's actually apparently the largest one in Austria and the third largest in Europe. fun fact. And basically it was meant as a symbol of peace because it's actually made out of melted down cannonballs. So that's one thing you can do with all the leftover stuff from wars. It's like, just be done with the war, melt it up, have a nice bell. And last but not least, the Austrian New Year's fun fact number 1, which is probably the most important fact to know if you want to spend New Year's in Austria, or probably also one of the favorite facts or things about New Year's in Austria that people will tell you, is after what we just talked about, the bell, the Pummerin, like the rings have run out. Once it's done doing its ringing thing, the first song, no matter like which TV, radio, whatever comes on, is The Blue Danube Waltz by Johann Strauss. So what everyone does to start of the new year is to waltz. At least that's the New Year's resolution already from the last year, because if you've drunk already a bit, waltzing is hard, all the spinning around. So usually what people just do is they might just sway from one side to the other side and pretend they'll get waltzing, and they just don't, because it's also a very long song. So you need a lot of practice if you actually want to dance through the entirety of it. But that's definitely one of the favorite traditions for New Year's. I'm still annoying Sam to try and learn how to waltz to do it with me, so I don't have to look like an idiot waltzing around our living room myself. We'll see how that goes this year. But yeah, so that's 10 fun facts about New Year's in Austria. I hope you had fun. If you enjoyed the New Year's vibes, or also the generally Christmas vibes of all the videos we talked about before about Christmas in Austria, check out my new books, To Imperfect Proposals and Christmas Demons Run, because that's the time of year to set in Austria, so you'll get all those Christmas and New Year's vibes. And as always, like, share and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more, and see you next time when the rum is back. Bye! And he's basically the patron saint of excuse.